Good morning, Service Alliance community. Hope everybody's doing great out there.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Happy Thanksgiving week.
Gobble, gobble. Gobble, gobble, turkey. Mike, Carver. Yeah, it's not Carson, it's Carver this week because you're turkey carver.
Yeah, I got.
It's funny when I have Chat GPT put stuff in about you, it literally says Mike Carver. No joke. So,
Oh, nice.
all right. Thanksgiving week, we got to do dad jokes. So, why did the turkey join a band?
I don't know.
Because it already had the drumsticks.
Nice.
Yep, I like it.
That's all right. I'll give you that one. That one wasn't too horrible.
Oh, I got more. I'm loaded today.
Oh no.
Oh wow.
You have been warned.
We got to talk about YouTube after this is done. So,
okay.
All right, cool.
Well, today we're talking about the 12-month KPI roadmap, turning your numbers into strategic growth.
It sounds like a Christmas song. The 12 months of KPIs.
That'd be the 12 days of KPI.
Hey.
I should have. You know what?
Christmas time's right around the corner.
On that, next month.
Yep. To your health.
Next month. We're talking all about budgeting, investing, networking, productivity. So I'll have to work that in.
12 days of Christmas KPIs. It says 3 syllable versus 2 though. So
yeah,
12 days of numbers. Yeah, we'll figure that one out. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I'm kind of liking it.
12 is a number, right?
That 12 counts. Is the luckiest number of them all.
I thought 7 was. You're blowing my mind here. All right, everybody. Enough banter.
Yeah, let's talk about why we're here today. And that's we are numbers. KPIs. Yeah, I have this feeling that we're going to be talking about laziness, but I don't think it's because most business owners are failing because they're lazy. I think they're failing because they're just flying blind. They don't have a plan, right? I remember 2004, probably one of the first motivational quotes I was ever given, and I still have it. I was given one of those notebook holders that you put paper in, and on the very front of the leather-bound notebook, it says, "Plan or be planned for." I'll never forget that quote. I'll tell you who the guy was. Is Terry Nicholson, and he was in a group similar to Service Alliance Group. It was called Electrician Success International. It was part of a bigger conglomerate, but yeah, I'll never forget that. So plan. So I know you're busy, but if you don't know what's working, what's not working, and what tomorrow looks like, you're going to fail, right? So you can fly by the seat of your pants, but why not have some kind of a roadmap? So that's what we're talking about today, right, Mike? That 12-month KPI roadmap.
Absolutely. I don't think that people are lazy. I think they just don't know which KPIs to track.
Yep.
And then I don't think they understand how to track them.
Yep.
And which ones are the most important.
Yeah.
Because you can have a million different KPIs.
So you've got a good blueprint that you're going to share with us today, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I like it.
Let's open us up in prayer first.
Sounds good.
Because that's what we do here.
Yeah. I like that. Okay. Lord, Father God, just give us, I know, wisdom today. Just guide us as we learn. Give everybody listening clarity, discipline, and wisdom to just be a steward in this business that you've given us. Help us focus on what matters most and give us a lot of courage to just take action on the things that we've been avoiding. And above all, let people see your love through our actions. Amen.
Amen, brother. Thank you for that. Today's verse, I like Proverbs. I know it's one of TK's favorite books in the Bible. Today's verse is Proverbs 27:23. Be diligent to know the state of your flocks and attend to your herds. Um,
Be diligent, as in Bob
a
Diligent.
business is no different. You can't
Horrible.
steward what you don't measure.
Yeah.
So a lot of people say what gets measured grows,
Hmm.
or what gets measured improves. Um, I am a very, very, very firm believer in that, because if you look at numbers on a specific metric or set of metrics all the time and they're not improving, let me tell you, that frustrates the hell out of you more than you will realize. And you will figure out how to improve those numbers. You will do whatever it takes, because you're going to get sick and tired of those numbers not moving in the right direction that you want them to go. So that's what I've experienced in my own business. Looking at my KPIs and everything. So, and I've seen a lot of different businesses be the same way. And some people will give up on their numbers and they'll start tracking the wrong numbers. So let's focus on what numbers that you need to track, because business
You need
owners
like
don't need to
you need
track
like 100
1,000
KPIs.
KPIs.
100, 1,000? No. How many KPIs is a good amount of KPIs?
It depends. It depends on your goals. It really does. Like you need to know what your goals are
Yeah.
before you can start tracking anything, right? Because the proper KPIs that are in alignment with your goals are what is going to get you where you want to go.
So the right amount of KPIs is determined by what your goals are.
I would absolutely say that.
Yeah.
They need to be the right KPIs in the right order, and you don't need to track all of them out of the box. So the way we've got this set up, this 12-month KPI roadmap, we're going to do these KPIs in phases: quarter 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And that way you can go through this and do it in each individual phase, and it's going to make things a little more simple for you. It's going to be manageable. It's going to be easy to implement, and it's going to be all broken down into your daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and yearly KPIs. So let's start with phase 1. What do you guys track? What do you guys, how do you guys track your KPIs, Jason? Like,
So,
what are your main metrics that you guys do in your business?
yeah. So daily call percentages. You caught me off guard. So inside of our platform that we built, we have a dashboard, and the dashboard is connected to our VoIP system. And so we track the length of phone calls, the closing percentages of booking. So the booking percentage. Boy, you caught me on. This is a better question for Shane or Tracy. I'm on the marketing side. And then so closing percentages, length of calls. Boy, I'd have to get into the system and find out now. You caught me off guard on that one. Boy, I'm flubbing now. As a technician, I could tell you like right off the bat. As an electrician, like I could tell you, okay, how many calls am I taking per day? How many calls did I complete today? How many did I actually convert into like service agreements? Like I can start hammering those off the top of my head. But for me, when you're looking at your your daily operations, right? We're talking about your foundation piece. And so this can kind of be, if you're looking to build KPIs, you can look at what like quarter 1 looks like, and that's your foundation piece. So quarter 1 is about waking up, right? You can't fix what you refuse to look at. So daily KPIs don't micromanage; they help stabilize that foundation of your business. So as a appliance repairman, electrician, plumber, heating and air, whatever it may be, look at like your daily calls, your answered versus missed. your jobs completed per technician, your first completion rates. How many of them are you completing if you're an appliance repair guy, going out there and completing on the first call? Heating and air is kind of the similar. Electricians, when you get into, for the most part, it's either I'm going out to give an estimate and I'm converting that. I could have swore I just heard the cat come in here. That was weird. The cat doesn't come in here, so sorry. So as an electrician, I'm going out there to typically give an estimate and convert that into a job, or I'm going out there for an actual problem, and so I go look at the situation, give them a solution to fix it, and then they convert it into a job right then and there. So a couple different ways on there. So then you're looking at your average tickets, and then like reviews is another good one, aside from service agreements, which I think service agreements should be like minimum 1 out of every 4 call you go on, you should be converting into a service agreement. And then reviews per day. Out of 4 calls, I would hope that, at least one of those you're converting. But so kind of the same as your other, but that should be a lot higher. Reviews are so easy to get nowadays, and it's just simply by asking. So when you get into that foundation piece, I think those are some of your key players in that foundational piece of KPIs.
So to review that list, daily job call or daily call counts,
Daily calls,
your
jobs
total
completed
inbound
per
calls versus missed calls versus answered, your daily job count, completed jobs per tech, your first time completion rate, your average ticket, and the amount of reviews generated.
And I'm going to throw service agreements in there. How
And
many
service agreements
did you convert? Yep.
Okay. So those are your daily ops KPIs. And you do that in phase 1 in quarter 1. So those are going to be the first ones that you're going to set up. Pretty simple stuff, pretty basic stuff. So in phase 2, let's talk quarter 2. This is where you start tracking more financial aspects of things. This is where you're going to understand where your money is won and your money is lost. This actually might be a better one for those service agreements to be implemented in here, since that directly ties into the financial KPIs. Obviously, you do what you want to do, put it wherever you want, but in quarter 2, you're going to want to start tracking revenue per tech per day. You're going to want to look at your gross margins per job, your part cost percent, your labor cost percent, and your lead source profitability. If you don't know the breakdown of where your lead sources are coming from, you can't track the profitability. So you won't know what channels are driving the most profitability for your business. Therefore, you won't know where to spend your money on advertising or lead sources. Obviously, word of mouth is going to be your most profitable, but that's just one little metric. You may or may not even be putting any money into referrals, or prior customer follow-up or database reactivations, things like that. So whatever you're doing, you still need to track these things as best as possible. You're never, ever going to be 100%. But if you have the majority of it right, you can make some really educated decisions and start actually planning and have a solid roadmap to where you want to go.
Yeah.
So you can't scale until you know these numbers and what each technician is actually producing, and have those numbers to help hold your team accountable. Whether you're a one-man show trying to hold yourself accountable, these numbers actually matter. And it's going to expose those hidden profit leaks. There's so many companies out there that don't understand where their money's going. They don't have a very clear picture of where their spend is happening versus where the profit's happening. And this is where your business stops being a hobby and starts being an actual machine for your goals and for your personal life.
Yeah. Well, this is, pretty important metrics. Ooh, hey, the 12 months of metrics. There's the title right there. It flows better than KPIs. Yeah. So, I think that's good. So, Q3, dive into that one.
Yeah, go ahead.
So this one I like, marketing and scheduling. Some good KPIs for here is like your lead volume by the source where you're getting your leads from. Your cost per job is a great one to put in here. Cost per lead, how much it's costing you per lead. Your booking rate, and then like your scheduled density, I think are some pretty good ones here. If you're not sure where your leads are coming from, it makes it tough to control your future. So this Q3 foundational marketing part becomes math, not magic. If you're unsure in marketing aspect, hire a professional, right? Get somebody in there that's going to help you. I just had a guy come in yesterday that is helping me with social media stuff. ParagonDriven.com is his website, but he's really good. He knows social media. That's his jam, right? He doesn't focus on anything else but social media. And so he came in. We're doing a Black Friday deal with my office help, and he came in, and we've got a really good plan for this week up until Cyber Monday. At the end of Cyber Monday for this plan, so we created a plan. He's implementing the plan. We're tracking the plan. I've got analytics set up on our landing pages that we're using, so every day I can see and I can adjust accordingly in my marketing. And I'm seeing, all right, these leads are coming from here. I'm seeing I'm spending X amount per click or X amount per. If I get like yesterday, the reach was around 5,000-6,000 for the first day, or no, I'm sorry, it was about 12,000 for the first day, and over 100 clicks. Right? All right, well that's awesome. Comes down to about $1, or I can't remember how much the ad spend was off the top of my head, but converting that is what we want to do. So we saw that we were getting people coming to the landing page, but we're not converting at this point. So we went on our landing page, redid some stuff on there. I did a video as an intention getter. We're going to be throwing that up on there today. So again, it comes back to this. Again, if you don't know where your leads are coming from, it's hard to control your future. And if you're not tracking those leads as they come in, what are you doing with them? You just throwing them away? No. Daily little adjustments can make a huge change over the entire year. So,
if you're not tracking those kinds of numbers, either daily or weekly, then you can go and spend a lot of money, without knowing where it's going or why real quick. And it could turn into a lot of wasted spend. So if you weren't looking at those numbers, you wouldn't know, hey, I'm not converting these, number one, but I'm also, I don't know what I'm spending. I just know the bulk gross dollar that you're spending, but I don't know what that's meaning as far as actual leads coming into my page.
Yeah.
And then how many of those are converting? And then you look at those percentages and then you translate it and you're like, all right, something's off. These numbers are really low. So what can I do to increase that? And then you make tweaks from there, right?
Yep. I'm smiling because I'm writing the 12 months of metrics on the side here. I'll have it over for you before the next mastermind.
There you go. All right. So one more touch point on, you talked about schedule density, jobs per route.
Mm-hmm.
What I see a lot of people doing in their service areas, they don't really track how profitable each zip code is. Or if you're doing multiple counties, you're in a rural area and you're doing, a huge area,
Yeah.
going to multiple counties, what counties are the most profitable for you? What areas are the most profitable? Break up your service area into different segments, and
Yeah.
then
Really
find
thought
out
about
which of
that that
those
way.
segments are the most profitable, and where, I mean, you're obviously going to know where you're doing the most work, right? But just because you're doing the most work there doesn't mean it's the most profitable per job. So start looking at some of those numbers, and then you'll know where to target your advertising a little more in that focus area.
That's
Um,
different. I wasn't thinking about it that way. I was thinking about it more like out of an 8-hour day, if your techs, of all the time my techs could be working today, like how much of that time is actually booked or how much of that time is actually,
right.
wrench time. That's how I was thinking about it, not thinking about what you're talking about here. It's
Yeah, I
good.
mean, you could obviously, you can measure so many different things. You can measure
Mhm.
what's my windshield time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all how granular you want to go, and these are the types of things that you need to think about. You can go really, really deep on this stuff, and you can go to extremes, but you also have to say, is this practical? Do I have the resources to actually measure this? And are my technicians going to have buy-in on,
Yeah.
helping me track these measurements?
Yeah.
And how do I measure? How do you measure windshield time,
Yeah.
without having somebody check out of a job, drive to the next one, and then check in, and have that check out and check in type procedure
Yeah. Well, I
in place.
mean, that opens a whole nother door. Like, it can even come down to like your inefficient routing, and having like
Exactly.
GPS trackers on the trucks to push routing to them through your CRM or whatever. I mean, wow, that could really go deep there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like, how deep do you want to go?
Yeah.
How deep can you go?
How deep does the rabbit hole go?
Yeah, and where do you just say, you know what, and I'm not going to track this. It's not making a lot of sense for me to do it at this
Yeah.
point. But
Yep.
the more that you scale and grow, this is what the large companies are doing. This is how deep they're going, because they want to optimize every little aspect of their business, and they can't optimize it without data. So that's why KPIs are so important, especially if you're looking to scale and grow your business, to 7, 8 figures. It's definitely something that you have to start being aware of, and you have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
If you have not started your KPIs, or you're missing certain KPIs that you should be tracking and you're not, that's what this is all about.
Mm.
All right, let's talk about quarter 4. What do you implement
Q4.
quarter 4? All right, we
Uh,
just talked about scaling. This is what scaling
so I think
is
this
all
is more your like maybe even like your CEO level decisions. So you're getting into your team KPIs, growth KPIs. Um, we talked about revenue per tech, your utilization rate, maybe callbacks, training metrics. Another big one is your customer lifetime value. Your CRM should be telling you easily, well, how much is that customer worth to you? The time that they were here. House Call Pro does a good job of that. Your your capacity versus demand forecasting. Do I need to hire another tech because my demand I know in this season is going to be greater? And if so, I'm probably going to be getting ahead of that months before that, make sure they're trained. So this is when owners stop guessing like when to hire or maybe when to invest into the business. It helps you with knowing when to expand, and so you can scale your business with confidence and not just let's throw money here, let's throw money there, let's guess at this. So helps you with the forecasting aspect of things.
Yeah, once you know all of these things, you can turn your KPIs into hiring and expansion and investment decisions. You can predict more effectively, I guess I'd say. How many of you out there are literally just flying off the seat of your pants based on what you know up in your head, and you've never really planned or mapped any of this stuff out, and you're making decisions based off of feelings?
Yeah.
I think that's the absolute worst thing that any business owner can do. They're stressed out, they're pulling their hair out, they're busy, and then all of a sudden they're making decisions just based on the way they feel.
Yeah.
And they're not taking the time to center themselves and regroup and just calm down and just organize your business.
Yeah.
And we've all been there as business owners. And sometimes we need to just take a step back, go for a walk, and say, I need to clear my head a little bit and regroup, and then come back to the table and start making a list.
Yeah.
And what is important to me, and then whatever's important to you, start figuring out what is important to track. And that will get you to the next place. And then, like I said, roll this out into 4 quarterly phases and then organize them into those phases. It's not hard to do once you just step back and stop being in your business and start looking at it more from an outside perspective.
Yeah.
Say if I did not own this business and I was wanting it to grow so that I could buy it later, what would that look like? What do I need to do to get there? And that's going to help you get a lot more clear understanding of what you should be looking at. Because if you're eventually looking at selling your business or passing it along to a family member or another employee, whatever your exit plan is, you need these KPIs in order to get there. Otherwise, you're going to hand something over that's a mess. And who wants to do that?
Yeah, I threw I call it the KPI cadence. Some KPIs you can track, like your daily is going to be like your jobs, your calls, your tech consistency. Weekly, you're checking your revenue, your booking percentages, your wins, your losses. Monthly, profit, lead sourcing, forecasting. Quarterly, your strategy, your bottlenecks, maybe system upgrades. So a few that you could just kind of dive into. Throw those into like ChatGPT and, hey, help me create KPIs based off of this.
Yeah. Obviously, it needs to know your numbers, but
yeah,
it can be done.
Data in this aspect, it doesn't create discipline. Discipline makes this data useful, and it's a great source, great tool. You know, ChatGPT is good at helping you with a lot of that stuff if you're unfamiliar. Another great source would be the Service Alliance Group and their vast array of library items to help you with this.
And our masterminds are huge for stuff like this. We go over this stuff all the time.
Yeah. So I don't, one of the biggest mistakes I see a lot of people do is, let's try to do all this today. Let me try to build all this today, get my KPIs done for the entire year today. No, like pick a KPI, right? Pick maybe the first bucket of sort, put 2 or 3 KPIs in there, build those, start utilizing those for a few days, maybe a week, 2 weeks, and then start focusing on the next ones. You know, build a habit out of this. And it's the commitment aspect of it, not the convenience of it. So yeah, that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we just pulled up. That's your cadence, where it's daily jobs or daily KPIs, and then your weekly, monthly, and quarterly. Everything's categorized right here on the screen. If you didn't notice, where it's formatted a little differently on the screen, but I'll leave that up for just a little bit more. But what's our action plan? Your data doesn't run your business, but your discipline does. Okay, so KPIs just help you make that discipline easier and repeatable.
Yep.
So, Jason, you just said, daily, just pick something.
Yeah.
Right. My advice and my challenge for everybody out there this week is just pick a couple hours to say, I'm going to work on my business during this two hours that I've set aside, and I'm not going to answer the phones. I'm not running calls. I'm not doing anything. My employees are going to leave me alone. Wake up early if you need to get it done.
Yep.
And set 2 hours, 2 solid hours. I don't think an hour is enough. 2 solid hours of your time for the next month, once a week. So 2 hours a week, you're going to focus on nothing but KPIs. And you're going to map out your KPIs that first hour and get that solidified. And then the next hour, you're going to say, okay, I have data on these KPIs. I can track these right away. Start with the easiest things. When you start with the easiest things on your list and you can knock those out really fast, it's going to give you a lot of incentive. It's going to make you feel like you've accomplished something. Then the next week, work on the next set of harder ones, or even just a single one. Don't ever start with the hardest one to pull data for. If you know that you don't have data, but you're going to start acquiring that data and start collecting that data, then don't implement those yet. You've got to get to the point where you can actually implement collection of that data so that you can track it, right? So that's a whole other animal. Start with the ones that you can track today with the data you already have.
Yep.
And at least start there, because at least you're tracking something, and you need to track it consistently. Just because you can pull numbers and look at these KPIs, it doesn't mean jack. If you don't compare it from week to week and month to month and measure improvement. Okay. So you can look at it 1 month and you can look at it the next month and say, yeah, the numbers look a little bit better, but what's the percentage of better?
Yeah.
How much did it improve? How much did it fall off? Not every month is going to be a knock it out of the park type of thing. Yeah. And if it is, that's amazing. But you're going to have some dips every once in a while. But the more you track everything over, say, the course of a year, over 12 months, you may have a couple of months that dip, but that's okay, because it's all about the averages, as long as you're focused on improving. And by the end of the year, you're going to say, wow, we've improved a lot from where we started. We're not where we want to be, maybe, but we're not where we were.
It's the tiny differences, the small adjustments.
Yeah.
Man, it's been pretty good. I think if you want these tools, the dashboards, the accountability to make this roadmap real, you should do something very simple, and that's join the Service Alliance Group community. There's a lot of these tools and everything at your fingertips. So you'll be talking about a lot of this stuff at the next mastermind. So if you're a Service Alliance Group mastermind member, that's going to be December 20th. Who's teaching that one?
That's going to be Zach. He's got a pretty in-depth, pretty deep discussion on annual budget planning. And some of this was taught over at PSA in Vegas this September, but we've reworked some things. He's updated it a little bit more, and we're going pretty deep into the annual budget planning. So
that's pretty
if
awesome.
You're unfamiliar with budgeting and how to implement it and go through that process, make sure you get into the Service Alliance Group All Access plan. Our All Access members come into that for free.
Do you have a Black Friday deal to join the Service Alliance Group?
We do not.
Mm,
However,
something to think about.
I'll give you a coupon code.
Coupon code.
I'll pop up a coupon code.
All right. Well, while you're doing that, check out My Office Helps Black Friday deal. We've got My Office Manager, our platform, for $1, $1. That's it. So go to myofficehelp.com/mom to see the details and to get signed up for My Office Manager for $1. It's a full-blown CRM automation platform. It's going to help you out a lot. All 4 plans that we have, from $97 to $497, just $1 for your first month. So that's our Black Friday deal.
All right. Use coupon code
Appliance Alliance.
That will give you $100 off.
$100.
$100 off.
I like that.
And I put it in there in all caps. Make sure you put it in use the coupon code all caps. That will get you 20% off is what it averages out to for any of our plans.
Okay.
Not just all access, but all access 20% equals to $100.
Black Friday,
pretty good
Cyber
deal.
Monday deals going on. I like it. All right, one last dad joke for Thanksgiving before we take off. And I'll throw it in the chat too before we take off. So why did the turkey cross the road twice? To prove it wasn't chicken.
Wow. I don't know. The first one was a little better.
Yeah. Well, hey, if you liked what you heard, including the horrible dad Thanksgiving jokes, be sure to pay the fee, which is free. Simply just like, subscribe, share Service Alliance Group, My Office Help, Appliance Marketing Pros on the online or on your favorite social media channels. So that's easy.
Have a great day, everybody.
Have a great Thanksgiving.
And happy Thanksgiving.
Gobble, gobble.
Thanks for tuning in to the Morning Grind podcast by Service Alliance Group. Subscribe to our channel and make sure you visit our website at servicealliancegroup.com for appliance repair business resources.